Hi, fifth grade. So here is week 2 of online learning, and if you forgot who I am by now, I am Mrs. Greenwald. So what we're going to be doing this week is that we're going to be continuing on with life cycles, but this time we're going to get nitty gritty into the details about what certain life cycles are. So last week you compared complete and incomplete metamorphosis. So as a quick review, let me go to my whiteboard. And I'll write out completes and incompletes. Let's see how much you guys remember. And this is really different when you don't have a class to ask questions to. Okay, so couple things. We have complete and incomplete. The biggest thing between the two is that complete has 4 stages, as many of you picked up on, which is great. And then incomplete has how many? 3, you're right, 3 stages. Also, in complete metamorphosis, you're going to find a big change takes place. So for a butterfly, that means that it no longer, it makes a big change by hanging out in chrysalis. Incomplete means that there is a change. You know, as humans, we go through change as well, but it's a little change. There's not like a major transformation that actually happens. Okay? One of the other big things for complete is that the baby does not look like the adult. So baby doesn't look like mama. As I write that down, and in incomplete, the baby looks like mama. So it's sometimes hard to tell the difference between a nymph and a pupa, okay? And the 4 stages for complete are egg, egg / pupa / chrysalis / adults. You got that. 3 stages for incomplete is baby, nymph, and adults, okay? So that's a review from last week. And thank you for sending those Venn diagrams. Now, to go on, we're going to actually compare. There's certain things that the state of Texas says, this is what 5th grade has to know. Okay, so we like to follow the rules a lot of times, but these are like animals and plants that you particularly haven't been exposed to when you were in lower elementary. So when you were in kindergarten, you were learning about the butterfly and the frog and insects, but now we're big kids. So, well, you know, I'm an adult. So now we're into the big kid mode. So we're going to first compare beetles and crickets. So for your notes this week, I want you to make T-charts. So first make your first T-chart. Beetles versus crickets, okay? They're both insects, okay? But they go through different kinds of cycles. That's why we talked about the metamorphosis, the complete and incomplete, because one goes through one goes through one, and one goes through the other. Now, differences. So I'm going to put a D on both sides for differences, okay? And we're going to list the differences between the two. Crickets have 3 stages, and beetles have 4. So that's really important to go with. And remember, I'm looking at my notes to the side, so if you're like, well, Miss Greenwald right here, I know you're still there. The difference is they don't, crickets look like mama as a baby, and beetles don't look like mama. Okay, so far between the two, all right, can you figure out which one goes through complete and which one goes through incomplete? Right, crickets, incomplete, beetles, complete. So the same things we learned last week are the exact same differences between these two. All right, there's one more. And, yep, you guessed it. Beetles go through major change. And crickets go through a minor change. So you don't have to have some fireworks display whenever it changes into an adult. Usually we know it's an adult because it sprouted wings. Beetles sometimes have wings too, but for crickets, that's the clue, the evidence that tells us, hey, this is an adult. All right, so there we go. All right, so we're comparing beetles and crickets this week. Okay, you want to really pay attention to this because your homework's going to consist of actually drawing out the life cycle for beetles and crickets and the two plants we're going to talk about. And you want to pay attention to what's going to happen during each cycle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to point out the major differences and similarities, and then I've uploaded a pictures to help see how each one goes through its cycle, and it's your job to break it down. So there's a worksheet that goes with it. So those are the differences. Now let me move over to my other whiteboard, and we're going to compare them now. Make sure you're taking notes, because you never know when I'm going to pop out some kind of pop quiz. FYI, there's going to be a quiz on Friday that you'll take, and it's going to be on quizzes.com. So it's going to be an online quiz, which will be easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Because you're being professionals at this. Okay, so for this part, I want you to continue your T-chart and keep input an S this time for similarities, or same. We're 5th graders, so we're going to use the big word, similarities. So they both start as eggs, which a lot of you caught on for your Venn diagram, which is great. And you also both put, a lot of you did put, they both have an adult stage. That's what I wanted you to pick up on. Like, what's the same? What's different between them? And they both go through metamorphosis. So they're both going through some kind of change. I'm going to put METHAP so I can. And they both have an adult stage. You can add that as well. So very simple and easy. Okay. So we have beetles and crickets for differences, just like we did for incomplete and complete metamorphosis. So complete for beetle, incomplete for cricket. Bam. And then similarities. Both starts with eggs, both have adult stages. We want to add that in there because that's important. And they both go through some form of metamorphosis. So they're both changing. Okay, you guys with me so far? All right, simple and easy, right? So basically, we've taken what we had last week, but this time we're applying it to some exact examples, which is awesome. And like I said, go on to the lesson plans, and on there will be uploaded some actual visual pictures or a website link for you to actually go and click and say, oh, is that what it looks like as an egg? And that's what it looks like. I don't have it up because, well, I don't have another iPad to show you. And I'll be honest, I don't have a printer at home that works anymore. And I haven't sent Mr. Greenwald out to go get a new one, so it's not on the agenda. One day, maybe I'll draw them for you guys or something. Okay, so if you have any questions so far, please send them by email. Let me know. I'll be happy to reply or put them on the YouTube video on YouTube. Okay, the other thing we're going to compare is radishes and lima beans. Yeah, I know, kind of weird, huh? But out of all the things in the world, the people of Texas, they call them TEA, Texas Education Agency, said, we think they need to know, 5th graders should learn about radishes and lima beans. So here we are. Okay, they're both plants. Technically, they still go through a change, but not like the complete metamorphosis. So we're going off on a whole different thing. Now we're going on what we call a simple life cycle. Simple life cycle is what you and I have gone through. Okay, there's no big change. We still go through from birth, we grow up, we become mommies and daddies, and then we die. So it starts with that, and it just keeps circling, going around to the next generation and everything. Same thing with our plants. They go through simple life cycles. So let's do compare this time. So put your C for comparison, similarities. Oh wait, we used an S. I don't want to confuse you guys. Let's put an S back. All right? S. And here's what our list is. Okay? They both have 4 stages. So from your vocab last week, you should be able to name those. Ready, set, go. Right. Seed, seedling, adult. Which one am I forgetting? It's okay. They both have, usually the seedling one comes in a couple of phases and stuff. I'm sorry. But they do have 4 stages like us, so it's a simple life cycle. They both start as seeds. Different looking seeds. I mean, they're all made by God that way. Start as seeds. They both go through a seedling phase. And we got to write simple life cycle for both of them. Just put that over. Okay, so here's your notes. What's similar between radishes and lima beans? They both go through 4 stages. They start as seeds, and they both go through a seedling stage. They both actually go through the adult stage as well, and they're both simple life cycles, so just like humans. Pretty simple so far, right? Okay, so if I erase this one really quick, let's go through the differences. Radishes and lima beans. Make our T-chart. Put D for difference. So you have that ready to go? Okay, so here's the difference, okay? Radishes grow underground, and lima beans grow above ground. Don't believe me, look it up. From your pictures, you should be able to get that. So make sure you do go to the link, make sure you upload those pictures so you can get a really good idea about what radishes and lima beans look like. Radishes have flowers. They turn into flowers before veggies grow. And before veggie. And lima beans don't have flowers. And we'll learn more about that as you get into 7th grade too. Flowers versus no flowers. So there's a flower that will sprout out for radishes beforehand. Not underground. But it gives you an idea that's like, oh, yeah, that's veggie. Underground, let's see. Oh, that's it. Simple and easy, okay? So they both go through that simple life cycle, 4 stages and everything. And they're seed, seedling, adult. Sometimes we have seedling too. But what's the difference between the two is that the radishes, some plants grow underground, some grow above ground. Some have flowers, some don't. Before you'll see that veggie or that fruit sprout up. Now that's just an indication of what kind of, it's an angiosperm or gymnosperm type of plant, but we're not getting off into that. That's more 7th and 8th grade kind of stuff. So right now you just need to know that a life cycle happens. So the same thing that happens in humans and in plants, in animals, happens exactly in plants as well. So we're born, we grow up, we make some more seeds. Well, we don't make seeds, but plants do. And then we die, and it starts all over again. Constant circle. Okay, so that is your notes for this week. I just wanted to dive in deeper and say, okay, so here are some examples of everything. I apologize that I don't have pictures up in front of me, but what your job is going to be to go back to the lesson plans and look at those extra worksheets and websites I put on there so you can get an image. Now here's the thing. When it comes to your experiment for this week, I want you to continue your experiment challenge. I want you to continue your growing of your seed from last week. If you have not grown one, remember these are optional, but if you have not grown one, bite into an apple, get a seed. Bite into an orange, get a seed. Find, sunflower seeds or something. Go outside, guys, and actually find some seeds. I bet you that there's some on your trees or in, those little white flowers that we have, dandelions. No, those aren't dandelions. Those are all seeds, guys. just grab something and start the experiment and see if you're successful. I've already had people send me theirs, and they're working on lab points right now. So, for your homework, uploaded into resources/documents is a template for you. A template means it is a piece of paper, a worksheet that looks like a life cycle. Remember? Simple life cycle has 4 parts, so that's what it's going to look like. All right, so what you're going to do is that you're going to draw out all 4 of the examples that I've shown you today. So radishes, lima beans, beetles, and crickets. So you're going to make a life cycle for each one. So you want to print out 4 of those papers. If you can't print it out, then take a picture of it and then doodle on your iPad or whatever you got to do. I mean, or you'd make it yourself. That is perfectly fine with me. Whatever you got to do to show pictures, to show the actual life cycle. So what you're going to do is you're going to either draw the pictures, so I can see, it goes in this way, I can see the seed and then the seedlings and then the adult going back to it. Now if it's incomplete metamorphosis, just cross off the last one, make a big arrow, and just do the 3 stages, okay? Be thinking through what you're about to do. So for your homework, once again, you're going to show me a life cycle for radishes, lima beans, beetles, and crickets, okay? So there should be 1 for each one. Now here is where I want to add on. You are going to describe each phase. So next to each phase on the worksheet, there is a little box that has lines. I want you to write in those lines what is happening in a complete sentence. Period, capital letter, the whole shebang. No, it does not count to put bullet points. I want to actually have a great explanation about what is happening. If you get stuck, go back through my video, find the differences and the similarities, look at the resources I pinned up, and do some exploration, what you can. These are due back to me by Friday. I will be by midnight. That works and everything. So if you have any questions, contact me and let me know. Once again, notes taking them, your homework, all 4 life cycles, examples, explanations with it, and choice on the experiment for lab points. I've also uploaded some brand new enrichment activities for you guys, some fun stuff. We're going to add a Kahoot here next week as fun. And also be looking out on Friday, I will be hosting up a quizzes.com quiz for you guys. So you can take that anytime this week, that's fine. It's just you go online, take the quiz, and it will send it right to me what your grade is and everything. And it's just over life cycles, what we've been going over. So simple, easy. You are more than welcome to make it open notes and to use your notes. So I know this video wasn't as exciting as last week, but next week we're going to be moving more into inheritance and adaptations and everything. Like, what do you get from mom and dad, and how do we change in the world? So hang in there. We're getting through life cycles because y'all are probably already pros, and whatnot. Okay, so if you have any questions, let me know. I miss you guys. I cannot wait to see you again. If you need to Zoom me, text me. Mom and dad have my number. Email me. We'll set up a Zoom call with a couple people. More than okay. All right. Bye, 5th grade.